Okay, now we're back on. Sorry for that quick interruption. So welcome everyone this evening as we discuss this exciting project. My name is Fred Cusero. I'm the Community Recreation Director for the city. And we're going to go over a presentation on the project and what it's going to look like. But before we do that, we do have our mayor and our city commissioners are here. So I'd like to call up Mayor Vince Lago to say a few words.
How are you? Good evening. Hope everybody's well. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Menendez, for being here. I know the Vice Mayor was going to stop by at some point. He was dealing with an issue for work. First off, I'd like to also thank our staff for doing an incredible job. Fred, our IT team, everybody in Public Works, Zeta, Parks. If I missed anybody, I apologize. But thank you for everything you do for the city and bringing today to a fruition. As the commission mentioned, when we talked about Burger Bob's, which is an incredibly important part of this community, we said that we were going to move forward in addressing Burger Bob's. How have we addressed Burger Bob's? Today is a testament to the fact that we value your opinion. We value what you believe in. We've done multiple things. First, what you're going to see today is different iterations of potentially how the project would look. Guidance, we want your input. And the second thing is I'd like to reaffirm, and I know that Fred is going to touch on it. Rita has met with Zeta, and they have a second scheduled meeting in January where Zeta requested from Rita to provide certain deliverables. A menu is one of the issues that is being requested. So we're moving forward as the commission dictated in ensuring that Rita continues to manage and run this facility. But the city of Coral Gables will be the owners, like we're doing with the country club and a few other areas that we think are critically important. So moving forward, I want to say thank you for you being here, whoever's online, whoever's listening. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your guidance. This project is moving forward and we value your input and your guidance. So thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful holidays. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor stated, the city staff, we received direction at a city commission meeting to move forward as we worked on the design of the space, but also to work on having Rita as our concessionaire for that space. So if there's any questions on that, the applause goes to the city commission. They did it at a city commission meeting. We are following their orders and their directive, and that's what we're going to do. As the mayor stated, Zeta is already meeting with them. We actually continue to do business. She just catered one of our staff events yesterday, did a breakfast for us, very nice, which Commissioner Menendez so nice to help our staff with a meeting. So we continue to do stuff with her. She did our Lamar Louise Curry opening, so we're in good shape with her, and we're hoping to have her in the fold when we finish the project. So if we can turn on the presentation so we can actually tell you what it's going to look like, because that's what we're here for. I have the clicker, so here we go. I don't have the clicker because I clicked and nothing went on. Best laid plans of mice and men. It's all the men. It's always the men that mess it up. So just some information on how we're going to do this meeting today. We are doing a hybrid meeting. We do have we'd like to say hi to all of our residents that are on Zoom that are watching, and this allows for everyone, even if you can't make it here, you can attend the meeting. It is recorded. We will have a copy of this recorded meeting on our webpage so people can access it later on if they weren't able to be here with us tonight. How we're going to do it is we'll have the presentation. At the end of the presentation, everyone in attendance and also on Zoom will have the opportunity to ask any questions that they may have. If you are on Zoom, there is a chat function. You can use the chat function to get their questions, and we will make sure we answer them all. Now, in terms of the distribution of information, we did put it out on our e-news. We did have some of our media partners help us with getting the information out. We also, for the surrounding neighborhood, we did pass out our door hangers that were within 1,500 feet of the property. And there's a picture of it right there that we passed out hand to hand that our staff went out and did. So talked to some of the people to describe what we were doing and what the meeting was going to be about. So this is by no means a comprehensive history, just a quick history, so we know where we are. This space was operated by Bob McGuire, and it was Burger Bob's Diner, and it shared the space with the Granada Pro Shop for the past 28 years. With plans for the scheduled renovation of the Pro Shop, the community made the request to the City Commission to add funding to develop the restaurant space. So that's what we're going to do. We have had meetings on a commission level. There was discussion at the commission level and direction given to staff to look at a diner decor and a diner feel. And that's what you'll see in a couple of seconds. And looking at the function of the space to keep it more or less the same function, the same type of operation in terms of the tables and the seating. And we'll talk about a couple of things that we'll do a little differently. There's going to be some improvements that will help in terms of equipment and being able to operate out of that space with some of the more modern equipment that you need now as you operate a restaurant. So this is where we are. Everyone that's here, we all know where it is. This is the Granada Pro Shop. Our initial project was to renovate the Pro Shop, and that also incorporated providing brand new impact windows throughout the perimeter of the Pro Shop. That construction project is already underway, and if you've been by, you've seen a lot of that stuff is already up. Looks great. This is the proposed east elevation, and the doors over here on the left of the screen, those will be the ones that go into the restaurant space. So this was the previous diner images, and one thing that you'll see as I explain, we have expanded the space. This dividing wall that you see here in this picture, we have moved further into the Pro Shop to give the restaurant more space and have the Pro Shop have a smaller footprint. And that is to help to have the restaurant have its own restroom, and we'll show you where it is, and to have a little bit more seating and a little bit more space. So we're going to show you a couple of mock-ups of pictures. We'll show you some with furniture. It's not the furniture that we're going to purchase. I'll tell you that ahead of time. It's just to show what it would look like. But this is to show you some of the finishes. At the end of the meeting, if you would like, we do have all the different finishes are up here, the different tiles, what the colors would look like. And this is what's proposed. We wanted to tie in a little bit of the red. It's a little bit of a darker hue, but it gives it a look. We wanted to kind of marry what the direction was, which was, still have a nod to the old style diner, but with a refresh look. The tin on the roof, which gives it that kind of nostalgic look. The open exposed duct, it's not a drop ceiling, so it gives a little more height in the space. The lighting, as you can see, which is interesting because that's more traditional lighting way in the past, but now it's modern again. And you see that in a lot of spaces. We will have that same countertop that we had in the front. It's going to be having a little bit more of a modern look. I'm not sure, it was quartz was what we were looking at, quartz top. And in the front, what you'll have is the stovetop, the griddle, and the grill. There'll be more equipment in the back, and we'll show you that when we look at the floor plan. So this is what it would look like when this is one section. We'll show you the other side too. This is furniture, but nobody get upset. This is not the furniture that we selected. This is the furniture that we've looked at just as a mock-up so you can see where the seating would be. I think, we're looking at having this countertop a little bit here and all of our seating, and then the other countertop on the other side. We'll look at what kind of stools, and we'll work with Rita on that and looking at what works within that space. Because this is not necessarily what we're looking at in terms of what will eventually be in there for furnishings. We'll probably look at adding a little bit of the splash of color to match up with some of the accents that we have right now. So this is the other side. Now you could see the hallway that will lead into the bathroom. And over on the far right of the screen, you see a wall with the window. That is going to be a small space for the restaurant staff that they can be in there to count the cash, and small little working space that they could have as well. We will look at having we have the the stainless steel, the hood, and we'll have it on the back as well. And then we'll look at, we are working with, important to note, we have shown this to Rita. She did give us some comments, and we're looking at certain things like the splashback and making sure that we have proper separation for people going into the bathroom away from the kitchen. So we're looking at all that. So that's it with furniture. I will tell everybody what I've told, that when I've presented to this board, I'm not necessarily a fan of those kind of stools. I'm a bigger guy. I say you either have a stool with a back or a stool without a back. That little middle back is not good for bigger people. So that's what we're looking at there in terms of what we can provide. You can see the different types of tables. There's a combination of 4 tops and 2 tops. We might end up with all 4 tops, but we might be able to put in some 2 tops to add some more people into the space. So at this point, this is our floor plan, and I'd like to call up the architect of the project, Daphne Guri-Matuti. She'll kind of show you what we have here at the back of the house.
Can we advance to the next slide? I think the next one is a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think so. Okay, thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Daphne Guri, and my firm is Guri-Matute, and I'm one of the consultants that works for the city of Coral Gables. I'm very happy and proud to be here this evening to make this presentation. So Fred already did my entire job. He did everything, but I'll run you through the floor plan. So we did, as Fred mentioned, there's a set of doors over here, but the primary entrance is going to be through this side. So this is up here at the top is where you have the eastern facing, and the country club would be over on this side, and the golf carts are over on this side. And so this is the pro shop golf right here. And this is the door that connects you from the pro shop into the restaurant. So we maximize the seating, have a couple of, and this is a preliminary layout. This could change. All of this seating is flexible. So you could group it completely differently depending on what the operator wants to do and what the community feels is appropriate. There is all of this bar seating here is flexible as well. It's not attached to the floor, so that can change, and the aesthetics of the furniture will definitely impact the aesthetics of the space. So what we did was really kind of focus on the nostalgia of Coral Gables by getting that Venetian red and the sage green, and wanted to have something that was very neutral and relaxed, but at the same time having a remembrance, a nostalgia of what Coral Gables is, and referencing what the old diner was. So with that, we also maintain the concept of the diner. So the diner has seating that you can have your meal right there at the bar. A couple of things that we did differently was to elevate the ceiling heights. So that makes it a lot more spacious. It's a feeling that it feels like it's going to be a taller space, because it is. So we were able to raise the ceiling in this area, and also above the bar. So that's one big change that we did that I think is going to be a huge improvement. In terms of the seating here, we also proposed to put a newer type of seating that is very common with people with phones, and they like to sit down and look out the window. So we have a built-in bar here with loose chairs, would have a phone charging station for everyone to be able to plug in if they want to, and check their mail while they're having a breakfast. We also created this tiny little office space for the manager. It has a 2-way mirror that looks out this way. This is a barn door. So that means that you don't have a door swing that's interrupting the flow of people coming into the restroom, and it locks, and the entire dining area, everything, including the kitchen, is now going to be ADA accessible. That was another huge thing that we had to do, is to come up with a proposed design that was going to be accessible for all patrons and staff alike. So this is there's no change of level from the outside to the inside, or between the pro shop to the dining area. And it's all completely flush when you come to a brand new unisex restroom at the back here. There's also another barn door here, which closes and would only be accessible by kitchen staff so that they could come to the restroom as well. So this will be permanently closed, and it's a solid wall right here, except for the barn door. So coming around to the other side, so we were able to maintain the hood in the same place, which is a very good cost savings to the city. And we worked with the city to understand what kind of food they thought that the operator might be wanting to serve, which we understand to be very similar to what you already had in the past. So all we did was provide the new adequate spacing and requirements per code so that this could be functioning for the next 25, 30, 40, 50 years. Over here on this side, we were able to enclose a part of the kitchen, which is, houses the coffee maker, the soda machines, all that stuff that's right over here. So it's basically hidden from view. We didn't want to have the entire kitchen exposed. You will see that all this area in the back, it has really become a much more functional kitchen, and has in the back of house, you have the full kitchen area. You have the washing station in the back over here. And then you have your electrical panels, which are the panels for the diner as well as for the pro shop. And then there's a delivery ramp that takes you goes down to the exterior right in here. And then this is a mechanical space for the new air conditioner. So we really maximized every single square inch of the space to be able to make the kitchen as efficient as possible. And at the same time, kind of like provide the most seating possible and make it as ample for everyone. I think that's it.
The fridge and the freezer.
Yes, and over here we have a brand new walk-in freezer and refrigerator right over here.
Thank you. Yeah, you can. So well done. We'll get to you in 1 second. Once we finish, we'll have all the time in the world for questions. In terms of our summary, these are the proposed enhancements. It's expansion of the current diner space, ADA, as we talked about, the new restroom. We are going to have new kitchen equipment. We are going to have new diner furnishings. The storefront windows are impact. So we're excited. We don't have to put up shutters for the hurricanes. We're going to improve the ADA access. We are going to have ADA designated parking on the other side. And we're looking at energy improvements. We are going to put camera surveillance in the air. It's going to be in the pro shop as well. And we're going to kind of improve the landscaping and the entrances to the pro shop and the restaurant. So total estimated project cost right now, and it's subject to market conditions at the time of bidding, is $610,000. We've retained an architect. We have the consultant, the concept design. We just heard them. We're starting with our meetings. We've met with the two advisory boards, our senior board and our Parks and Rec advisory board. We actually just met with the Parks Advisory Board this morning. So we've showed them the plan as well. And then we're looking at permitting and procurement for construction. We're going into this new year, spring 2023, with an estimated construction timeline in winter of 2023. I don't have exact dates yet. We still have to go through the bidding and permitting process. And as we go, we'll have a little bit more information, and we will always make it available on our Park Projects website as we do. parksprojects@coralgables.com. So now we do have time to take any questions, and we will answer any questions that you may have. All right, we'll start Marlon's first.
I'm sorry. Looking at the dates, you're permitting in the spring of 2023, you're going to end in the winter of 2023. What do you, you don't propose this to be finished until next Christmas?
We don't. At this point in time, we do not. Yes.
Who's next? Fred?
Yeah, just
Sorry.
I have a couple of questions. How many seats were in the old Burger Bubs?
I can't give you an exact number off the top of my head, but what we've tried to do.
I am not sure, but we've increased the area slightly so that we could have a restroom
so that the Pro Shop and Burger Bob's can be open at their own time. So it's actually slightly larger.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like there are any more seats than there were before. And the other thing is, why isn't there any outside seating?
Well, I was gonna address that as soon as I got the microphone back. We do have the opportunity to look at having outside seating under the overhang. And it'll be in two tops, but we'll keep it under shade. It won't go out into the open air, but we will look at that. Once again, as I stated in the presentation, that was just a mock-up of the furniture. We've increased the space. The furniture that we put in there right there was just to look at as an illustration. We'll be working with Rita to get as much of the furniture that we can get in there in terms of what will be conducive for her.
And I was wondering about the patio space and how many tables you would have out there, and if you're extending the overhang on the patio.
We're not extending the overhang. It looks like we'll have probably, the way we looked at it, you could probably get about four two tops underneath. And that's what we'd look to do. Yes, sir.
Yes, what will be the operating hours?
It's a good question. We will work with Rita on that. I would hope that at the very least, we'd be open when the golf course is open, kind of a symbiotic relationship with the Pro Shop. That's what I'm hoping for, the same days and the same times, because that's usually when our customers will be there early in the morning. And if we have people that play golf, we want to try to serve the golf course as well.
Are you telling me you're going to have only one tiny little unisex bathroom for the whole restaurant?
I am telling you that is the restaurant is specifically for that space, but we also have the Pro Shop. So when the Pro Shop is open, which if the restaurant's open at the same time, then we should be fine. And we should have more than enough restroom space and locker rooms. Oh, absolutely. It does. But that's the convenient, not far away from where you're eating. You can always go through the dividers and go to the Pro Shop. There's a lot more restrooms there as well.
It looks like the windows are fixed, which means at no time can you get any outside air in. So you'll be running the air conditioning 12 months a year. Is there
Yes.
no way we can take advantage of our beautiful weather and be able to have some windows that open? I mean, I have hurricane impact windows and you can open them.
We do not, what has been put in for the entire elevation of the Pro Shop are the fixed windows. We do not have retractable windows. That's the way it was designed for the Pro Shop as a whole. We don't have open air.
Fred, Diane Wells, just a quick question. Is it necessary under ADA requirements to have two entry doors? Can we not just have one entry door so that there's more seating for the community? No, but can we have just one?
You
One
do,
to the outside so that there's more area for seating?
absolutely. It's not a requirement to have the second set of doors, but they're already there. And absolutely, you can change the seating. You can reconfigure the seating in any way that is desired by the community and by the operator. No. We can go back to the floor plan. Can you go back to the floor plan?
Because if you don't have that, then you have more seating under the overhang. Thank you.
People on Zoom, they need to hear. They'll only hear through here.
You can go back. Okay, that second one that one's fine. The other one is better. Okay. This has always been here, and so has this one. They've always been there. Yes? Yes.
You have a question back here. Sorry. We gotta use the mic because it's not the.
My question is, will the existing parking be the same?
We do have small improvements for an ADA space, but it will mostly be the same.
Right. And then can the parking behind the country club be used by people going to the diner?
Sure, if there's space there, we wouldn't have a
Okay.
problem with it.
I would suggest, as you know, the parking places for the cafe and the golfers fills up pretty
Yes.
rapidly in the morning. That there's some designation to let the public know that there's additional parking behind the club.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that could be done,
yeah, I
achieved
think
through
that'd be an
signage.
improvement because
Sure.
not that many people, especially visitors, know
Yep.
of that big parking area.
We will take
Thank
note of
you.
that, sure.
Let me go to Ms. Bolton. She had a question, then I'll come back. There you go.
Yes, I was wondering why it took 11 months to build the Biltmore and it's going to take so long to do Burger Bob's.
We are working through the schedule that we have. We have to go through permitting, we have to go through procurement, then we have a construction timeline. So, I mean, we're not,
It seems like an incredibly long time to do it. Yeah.
We have to go through all the permitting, including outside agencies such as Durham, Wausau, and so forth. So we not only have to go through our building department, but also through the Dade County agencies. No, probably not.
This is just my personal opinion, but the seats that go along this side, that are looking out towards the golf course, I kind of object to that. I think if that were done away with, we could have more tables in there. And the whole thing about Burger Bob's was us visiting with each other, not communicating with our technical devices. So that's just
Okay.
my personal opinion.
I remember the morning that we spoke before the commission and Roy Black stood up and said, the beauty about Burger Bob's is that no one's on their phone and that people are talking. And now wait, no, and he had gone that morning to Starbucks and he said, and nobody was talking to each other. Everybody was talking on their phone. He said, that's not the way it is at Burger Bob's.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, as the chairman of your sustainability board, Rita has saved all that furniture.
Mhm.
You know, we should be into reuse and repurposing it all.
We know that she
And-
has it and we'll
and-
look at what
it's
we can
stored
recondition and we can
Someone in
refurbish.
this room, it's stored in their garage right now. So,
Yeah.
well, I know, I wasn't going to say, but
Yeah.
very close by, you know, it could be refinished.
We can look at that. Yeah, we're aware that she still has we gave it to her. So yeah, we know.
Also, I've spoken many times about using sustainable materials. Flooring, you know, are you really looking into using like
Yeah.
things like Trex?
Sure.
Trex, TREX. They're old plastic bottles.
All of the materials that we're proposing have recycled content of
Good.
varying degrees, and they're all durable materials that are easy for maintenance and easy for the operations.
Low flush toilets, lights that go on and off. Okay.
Yeah.
I keep singing the same.
This may be premature because there'll be further consideration of this, but it seems to me that the color scheme makes the place a bit cold. In other words, it doesn't have the ambience of community place in the city of the Gables area. And there is no orange. I'm not sure the green matches the hurricane green. So I think in paying attention to the final design and interior decorator, that something be kept about what Coral Gables is, a little bit of the color schemes, a little bit of artwork that reflects the past. We love the past.
What was the next
I
question?
appreciate your comments and just wanted to let you know that in Coral Gables, you find the Venetian red. You find it throughout the historic structures as well as a sage green, but your comment is well taken. Thank you.
Hi, yes, my name is Tom Wells. So I play golf at the Granada Golf Course. At the beginning of this process, there was a brief discussion about pass-through for golfers going from hole 4 to 5 to be able to order some food and grab that and keep pace of play up to speed with golfing. There's no pass-through window in this design. Was that given any thought?
As part of that, it's an excellent question, something that we will work with the operator, not necessarily in the design, but we're looking at software that's amenable to that industry where we can actually also have maybe a cart servicing the golf course and then having an order system where you can order. And so that by the time you're playing your rounds and you're done, you can go ahead and receive your dining options. So that's something we'll provide as a city to work with the operator to get them the software technology so that you can do that and looking at options to service the golfers on the course.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Kirk Menendez. I have a question, first question and a comment. First question is, based on the input from the community today and obviously the upcoming community neighborhood meetings, how much flexibility is in certain elements of the design to take into consideration what the residents are now saying, you know, things, the suggestions that we could make some adjustments along the way?
Well, as we usually do, what we do is we get this input, we go back to the drawing board. It's the normal process that we've done with all of our projects, whether it's a park, a facility. You know, we'll look at that seating, you know, maybe we'll change it, and we'll look at some of the other things that were discussed in terms of, I don't know if we can do a pass-through window. I don't know if we can do, we just put in all the windows in terms of retractable. I don't think that's possible, but we'll definitely look at all the comments and see what we can do within the footprint, financial footprint that we have. We don't have an extra 600,000 to do some of those things, but some of the things that were discussed, we're definitely going to look at and factor
Especially
into the design.
seating and the way
The seating and all
seating's
that, as
built.
I said, you know, we run into a little bit of a situation there because we have to show something, but it's not final.
Right.
So that's malleable, and we can look at what we do there.
Great.
And we will, and we'll take this commentary and look at, you know, maybe we don't need that bank. We don't, you know.
Right.
I mean, we can have people charge on outlets and things. We don't have to have something designated charger station, you know.
And my other question is, I don't know if you or the architect or who else can compare or explain what the operator, let's say Rita, had available to her and what condition things were in, and then what is now going to be available in order to provide the best service and the best quality for the operator going forward, like a contrast.
Well, I mean, I think you could, you know, it's a brand new kitchen. You're using all brand new equipment. We're going to get something that's up to the modern standard of what would go in there to prepare all the meals based on what her menu is going to be, taking into account what's been done in the past. And that's what, you know, it's going to be a brand new kitchen area. Back of house is going to be, there is no comparison of what you'll have now. It'll be a market improvement.
Thank you.
One last comment, and that is, most people that live in Coral Gables love Coral Gables, and we like living here because we're happy here. And let me tell you, if you tell people that this thing is not going to be finished till the end of 23, you are going to get a lot of unhappy people with a lot of pushback who are just going to say, what the hell is the city doing?
So as to a follow-up question for that comment, you said it's estimated to be complete in the winter of 2023. Has there been a contractor chosen yet?
No, we have the architect. We've come to you for input. We're going to go back to the drawing board, make the necessary adjustments based on the input. And then we have to go through permitting, procurement, and then construction.
So
It takes a while. We go through projects all the time. We build a lot of things in the city. it doesn't happen in 2 or 3 months. It just doesn't. There's a lot of checks and balances that you have to do. You can't just permit without getting approvals. You can't just select somebody without going through procurement processes, which means you have to have timelines for bids. It just gets extended on that timeline. We operate what we can within the constructs of what we have. And our capital improvements team knows that, as will move as fast as they can through it. But there are certain timelines that you can't skip. It's just not possible.
Right. You can't permit without a plan.
Correct.
Correct. And the other follow-up question is, once you choose a contractor, are you going to publish his time schedule so we know when the contractor thinks it's going to complete it versus an estimate that you're giving him tonight? Because it's just an estimate.
Correct. What we try to do is we have on our website, we have a parks projects at coralgables.com, and we post our updates and our progress reports on all the projects. You'll have pictures, you'll have calendars, and you'll see where we are with all of our projects. So that's what we try to do with all of our projects, is inform the public. Wait, Joe. You'll be next, Joe.
I just wondered, I'd like the idea of the tin ceiling. I think that is very attractive, but sometimes there's in restaurants where there's been tin ceilings, it gets very noisy. So I just wondered, is the flooring gonna cushion that, or?
That's a great question. So sound is always an issue in restaurants. And what we would propose to the city is to make sure that you find furniture that has upholstery. Right now, the flooring that we have is a tile floor, which is probably the best for the maintenance and operations. We could consider doing a softer material like a luxury vinyl tile. We could do that as well.
Joe?
No, this is not directly related to the diner here, but I just want to commend you, Fred, because when you took over that country club, one of the first things you guys did, and you did it quickly and efficiently, was improve the cutouts, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The sidewalk and the greenery. And I want to commend you because the story is that you guys are always behind schedule, but
Thank you.
in fact, I recommend that the traffic calming be outsourced to you.
I'm busy.
That's all I want to say.
We've got enough going on. Thank you, Joe.
Hand up and I'll come back. Coming, man. Hold on.
Going back to acoustics for a moment. In Burger Bob's, I don't remember noise ever being a problem. But across the street in what is now Le Parc, the acoustics are terrible. The noise, people talking loud, children screaming is enough to drive a person out of there. And I hope you keep the acoustic situation nice and quiet there when you do redo the Burger Bob's.
Well, as Daphne said, we are looking at that, but we don't want it too quiet. We do want it to be active. We want Rita to have a nice active restaurant space where people are attending.
I think it's obvious the outpouring of the community about the love of this building.
Mm-hmm.
And that building was built in 1962, dedicated in 1962. And I think a lot of people like the fact that it looked a little bit like 1962, you know, with the chrome and the red. And I think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with having something. The mayor kept talking about a place in Palm Beach, and I went up there. Gay and I drove up there one Sunday morning, and it had the nice old time feel too. And I really hope if we don't use the old furniture, that we use something that has a nostalgic feel.
Absolutely. That's what we'll do.
That made the old furniture and make it look exactly the same, right down to the stool. I checked it out.
Absolutely. We will definitely take that into consideration and look at what we can to give it that look and that feel. That's what we're trying to do.
Zoom comment.
Do we have anybody on Zoom with any questions? Okay. Let's not ignore them.
So not all of the comments are questions, but as our policy dictates, we will go ahead and read all of them. The first one is from Grace, and she commented that since when is modern synonymous with a classic diner? This looks like an updated McDonald's. So I'm not sure if it requires an answer. The second question is from Trish. Will there be evening hours similar to the Friday night dinners that were available before Burger Bob's closed?
As we said, we're working with Rita. Whatever she presents to us, we'll work with her. If she has her Friday night dinners, great. We will definitely be in support.
Thank you. Another comment from Grace. So another bar area, now a hybrid between updated McDonald's and a Starbucks. Additional seating is a must as it is outdoor dining. Seems this meeting was poorly advertised, hence the poor turnout. You'd have to hunt for it on the website, and it's not listed under upcoming meetings. I received no email notice, and keep it in mind, most patrons who would like to attend are not active on social media. Why ask for community input if the architects, et cetera, are already finalized?
As we've talked about, nothing has been finalized. That's what we said. We don't have the plans. We don't have the permits yet. That's what we're here for. To get the input. I know that we did it on a lot of our communications outlets. We try to get the word out as much as we can. We did walk the neighborhood on foot, passing out door hangers to everybody that's affected in that area. So we tried to get the word out.
Thank you. And another comment from Grace. The big question too is we've expected this close innovation for years now. So why are we looking at the same exact rendering shown to us several months ago? Seems you do not need the year, but why has this project been neglected for so long?
I'm not sure that we had this design when we're referring to, but we looked at this space when we had the pro shop. The pro shop was in I would say more dire renovation need in terms of the flooring and things that were in that pro shop. So as we started to look at the pro shop, then we looked at the need for having the restaurant space updated as well.
Thank you. There's no additional comments online.
All right. Yes, sir.
My question is because I was born in 1962 and now I forget things. More or less, when did the commission give the green light to move forward?
I'm trying to. Oh, Marlon might be able to help me. She might remember.
Marlon, whisper in my ear so I know the answer.
All I remember is the mayor said he wanted to cut the ribbon this December.
It was actually about when we were looking at the country club is when the discussion started, which was the beginning of this year, in 2022. And when we were given the direction to start moving with designing it ourselves, that was closer to April, I think, around there, right? Because we took over the country club right at the same time. So that's when it was. It hasn't been that long when we got that direction from the commission. Right around there. Yeah, I missed it by a month. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to talk so much, but I think everybody in this room really wants to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't want it to be combative, and if it's gonna take that long, it's gonna take that long. But we really would like to see some of our ideas put into use, and we really want to work with you. I mean, you seem extremely reasonable and. Don't you think? I mean, am I wrong?
So but that's something that, I mean, we do with every project. We get input, and it'll be interesting because the project will get done, it'll be constructed, and then somebody will come back to me and say, well, why did you do that? I said, well, I didn't do that. We listen. We always do. And sometimes to the detriment to other people's opinion of what it looks like. I'll be honest they're not here. I'll be honest with you, maybe in a year, somebody will be like, well, where are the charging stations? Where's it? But we are going to listen. We're taking notes, and and Daphne is our architect. She's going to start working on that input. Yes, Celia.
Have been mentioned. I
We'll-
repeat,
we-
will there be a follow-up
Yeah.
meeting?
We'll
with an
look at.
Integration of the
Yes,
recommendation?
well, depending on the integration of what we do here and if it's substantial, then we'll look at doing another one. My only concern about how we go about that next meeting is I don't want the timetable to be extended even further because we have to come back to another meeting. But if it's, we'll look at it and we'll see what's substantial and we'll see how we get the word out. If we have to have another meeting, we will. I don't have a problem with having extra meetings, but I am interested in the timeline.
So if you remember, as you signed in, we collected all your email addresses. So for the sake of the timeline, what we could look at doing is we can, whatever edits are done, we could email them to every single individual on this room and on the call on Zoom.
That might save some time.
And maybe we could have a solar bench outside for a charging station. Rather than inside, have solar benches outside.
We
One or
can,
two.
solar benches, I can talk with you about those for what we do some, they're a little problematic, solar benches. I have them in some of my parks. They haven't been the easiest to deal with, but yeah, I know what you're saying. We can look at alternatives.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention about solar. Why isn't there solar on the building? Marlon actually.
There's been discussion on the commission level, and I think that will continue to be looked at. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming, and thank you for everyone for being on Zoom. As we just said, we will be in touch. We got all your information, and as we get to work on revitalizing the plan that we showed, we'll get out the information to everyone. Thank you.